Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into Squid Game Season 2, Episode 3, titled The Price of Survival. It's another intense episode that's full of shocking moments, unexpected alliances, and, of course, the brutal deaths we've come to expect from this game. But this episode also digs deeper into the psychology of the players, and it pushes the moral boundaries of what they're willing to do to survive. So, let's break it all down. Fair warning, there will be spoilers. Now, let's get into it. The episode kicks off with tension building. The episode opens with the aftermath of the brutal turn of events from the previous episodes. The remaining contestants have already witnessed the horrors of the first few games, but now they're beginning to realize that survival isn't just about physical strength, it's about making the right choices in a game where every move could cost you your life. We can feel the palpable tension in the air as the players start to realize they have no choice but to rely on their wits and instincts to stay alive. The psychological toll on these characters is beginning to show. While some of them are still holding on to some semblance of humanity, others are quickly becoming consumed by the need to win at all costs. The pace of this episode is slower compared to the first two, but it's intentional. This is where the game starts to feel less like a contest and more like an existential nightmare. The moral implications of the game become impossible to ignore, and the players can't hide from the truth anymore. The stakes are raised. In Episode 3, the stakes are raised even higher. The first big twist comes when the participants are told that the next challenge will not only test their physical endurance but also their ability to make difficult decisions. The game is set up in a way that forces them to choose between their own survival and the lives of others. It's a cruel and calculated game that puts the players in a position where they must decide if they are willing to sacrifice someone else in order to stay in the game. This is where things start to get even darker. It's no longer just about running, jumping, and fighting. It's about betraying others in cold blood, making ruthless decisions, and calculating every move based on who's the biggest threat to your survival. The psychological warfare intensifies, and it becomes clear that some of these players will stop at nothing to come out on top. The arrival of new characters and strategic moves. Episode 3 introduces a few new characters, and while some of them feel like they've been thrust into the game with little backstory, others have a much more significant role in the story. We see new alliances forming and old ones beginning to fracture. The alliances in Squid Game are always precarious, and Episode 3 is no different. Some of the characters who previously seemed trustworthy are starting to show their true colors. One of the most interesting new characters is someone who appears to be playing the game not just to survive, but to outsmart everyone else. This character quickly becomes a threat, not because of physical prowess but because of their ability to manipulate people and control the narrative of the game. It's a fascinating dynamic to watch unfold, as the other players begin to recognize this person as someone they can either align with or eliminate. As the alliances begin to shift, the characters who remain are forced to make difficult choices. The inner conflict between choosing to betray someone you've come to trust or sacrificing your own morality for survival becomes a central theme. You start to wonder how far some of these characters will go, and it makes the stakes feel even more dangerous. The psychological torture, trust no one. One of the most chilling aspects of Squid Game Episode 3 is the psychological torture. The game is designed to break down the player's resolve, and the tension between the participants is almost unbearable. In this episode, trust becomes a commodity that's just as valuable as the physical strength needed to survive. Players are suspicious of each other, and the paranoia begins to set in. They question every move, every word, and every glance, unsure of who's trying to